Talking to Ellie De La Cruz. He went to the Torpedo bats yesterday. I mean, he was doing just fine. Not that he wouldn't be able to do this anyway, but with the new bats, he did hit 2 home runs. He did go 4 for 5 with 7 RBIs. By the way, exit velo on his hits, 110, 107, 103, 102, and 99 miles per hour. Here's Aaron Lenhart yesterday, now a Marlins coach, but the mastermind of this Torpedo bat revolution while with the Yankees.
I think the eureka moment really was when players pointed to where they were trying to hit the ball, and they noticed themselves that was not the fattest part of the bat. They noticed themselves that the tip was the fattest part of the bat. And then everyone just looks at each other like, well, let's flip it around. It's going to look silly, but are we willing to go with it? And at the end of the day, you found guys that were willing to go with it. So I would say that was really the moment. And I don't know, the bat industry's a free-for-all. They all copy each other. So in terms of legal details, I don't know, have to go talk to the lawyers about it.
How about that? That's interesting. The Rays have been one of the teams with players that use a Torpedo bat or version of the bat. This tweet coming out from Ryan Bass, comparison of Junior Caminero of the Rays game bat and the Torpedo bat that was used in yesterday's game. You can see the difference there. For more on these bats, let's talk about this, I don't know, evolution or revolution in the game. Our next guest is the hitting coach for the Tampa Bay Rays, former Major Leaguer first-round pick, Chad Mottola. Chad, it's Brian Kenny. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Great to be here.
Chad, is it an evolution or a revolution? Where are you on this?
Well, it's one of these things I wish I would have had it 30 years ago. I perfected getting jammed, so it makes some common sense. So we're exploring it pretty fast the way it's taken off.
So what do your guys use? We see I keep hearing Junior Caminero is dabbling with it. What are your guys using?
We have about 6 models that are generic, not really specific to them yet. I know our research team has where certain guys hit by individuals by certain pitches on the bat. So we're kind of processing that information a little faster to figure out who to get these. Who to get the Torpedo bats their hands in. It's not for everybody. Some guys get jammed more often than off the end. We had a frenzy the other day mid-game where about 4 guys in a row used them. So it's one of these things that, as you know, this is a copycat game. I don't know if this has everything to do with Aaron Judge hitting homers and things like that, but it's our job to explore. So it's definitely interesting, the concept.
Right. Judge is using the old-fashioned sledgehammer, like the thin handle, thick, barrel. But this sort of makes sense, right? What sort of player do you think? It seems like a lot of, again, the Rays ways seem to be guys who have this, this process, the Yandy Diaz process, right? Is that the type of player that could benefit from this type of bat?
Well, it's one of these things. Not only is it the contact point, the weight is distributed towards the hand, so you're going to have more control of the barrel as well. So that's not really getting commented too much, and I think that's just as interesting. So there's layers to it. It makes a ton of sense. It's like I said, it seems like it's common sense now. I don't know why we didn't think of this ourselves, but we're doing our best to explore it. I think there's something there. I don't know if it's as crazy as they're making it sound, but I think there might be a lane for it where you're a right-hander seeing a 2-seamer that day. Maybe you break this out, things like that, almost like a golf club version. But it's our job to explore it, and it's very interesting. It makes some sense. Yeah,
it seems like you could have a bat for different situations, really, right? I mean, are we looking at that like down the road or very soon?
Well, that's the thing about it is everybody makes contact pretty consistent on a certain part of the bat, and this kind of opens the door for that. We have a great research team that probably there definitely has these numbers in place and things like that, and we'll see if we can invent some bowling ball or bowling pin bat or whatever it may be, and have all these. Everything's wide open now. When you were hitting, Chad, again, you were a pretty good player. When you were hitting.
Oh, you're a monster as a youth player, I'm imagining. I mean, do you occasionally get one of those, I don't know if they were called aluminum bats or composite bats, that you weren't using in professional baseball and think, wow, look at this. Like, I mean, it must have, like, an aluminum bat in the hands of you must have been like an incredible weapon.
Well, I was back, I don't want to date myself too much, but we had one version back in my day. It was the Green East, and that's about it. And then the Black Magic came out. But it's one of these things, you go back to even younger when you had the big red bat with the barrel bigger than the whole baseball. And these things that are happening and the way the technology's finally catching up with hitting that it has with pitching for the last 10 years, I think this is one thing that we've been searching for that we're going to explore pretty good. And it makes, like I said, it makes some common sense. Yeah, look, usually you guys are at the forefront of this. You're a very sophisticated organization. But this is the Yankees. Does that accelerate things? It's not just the Yankees. You're playing at the Yankees field, but this is your divisional rival. Well, I yelled at Ben Rohrvet the other day. He said he had one in his hands in spring training last year and he got 3 hits and then put it in his garage and never used it again. So it's one of these things that some guys have had it in their hands. I think it's taking off a little bit more because I don't know how many were Yankee Stadium homers as opposed to some Torpedo bat. But it's our job to explore. And like I said, as soon as I heard it, I brought my career up. I perfected getting jammed. They say good hitters get jammed. I must have been really good. So if I could have moved my barrel towards my hands, I would have done it. So to me, it makes a lot of sense in how to kind of use it in its best way for each individual. That's the thing, because a lot of guys hit it off the end, and it's useless for them. So it's just making sure we protect themselves against all these chasing these numbers that guys are putting up early on. It usually balances out by the first month.
Okay. I know you guys, you see you're at Steinbrenner Field. It's interesting watching you guys now on TV. I've been watching you, and you're playing in the sunshine. It is kind of an intimate setting. It's not something you guys wanted, but there you are making the best of it. What is it like playing in Steinbrenner Field?
Well, the Yankees made this a beautiful place. We really appreciate what they've done. I know we're pretty big rivals, but for them to step up and help us out is pretty special. But it's one of these things, leaving spring training, we kind of looked around and we're in the same environment. And you kind of had to pitch yourself like this is for real now. So it's getting used to. The heat, definitely something we're not used to, but we're making the necessary adjustments, and the Yankees really did us a favor, and we thank them for it.
All right, right. It's interesting to see you guys play there. I'll be interested to see how quickly we see different bats, and if you do develop, like you said, those red bats. I'm thinking that big wiffle ball bat, that you give your kids. Like, here, use this. I'm waiting for. I know that's not legal, but I'm waiting for that next innovation from you guys, Chad.
Well, we're definitely exploring. We're going to find something, and I probably won't let it out in the public quite the same way.
Right, we'll just see it there. Chad, thanks so much for talking about this with us. We appreciate that. We're looking for insight into it, and best of luck this year. Thank you so much for coming on.
Fly ball in the air to left field. This is deep. This is back at the wall. Leaping! Did he pull it back? Yeah! Wow! Griffin Conine! No way! Yes, he did. Best catch of the year.
Yes, that was Saturday over the weekend. So let's give you another edition of Delicious Plays. And once again, full disclosure, we're looking for a sponsor. So that's why we came up with. Don't go.
No.
Yeah, you don't.
I got an idea.
Oh, I know you do, because we probably have the same idea. But let's keep it, PG-13, shall we? And again, Griffin Conine, on a day where his dad is honored and inducted into the Marlins Team Hall of Fame, Griffin Conine comes up with a great catch.
Why baseball's the best.
Yeah, really good.
Right there.
Much to the chagrin of Jack Sawinski, who hit it a good ways, but I like that. Love that. Hey, from last night, from the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, that's really
big-time robbery here.
He got up there. This is Brian Rocchio. Oh, play with it! By the way, Luis Arise, 0 for the season to start. I think he's 0 for 15.
I think he did this last year, though. He started like 0 for 13.
Yeah, and he won another batting title, so he's good. That's such a great play.
When you grow up playing shortstop, you live for these plays. As soon as that ball's hit, Brian Rocchio knows exactly what he wants to do. Arm strength to get up falling away is the tough part. Get to your feet.
Arise 1 for 18. Slow start, but he's going to be okay. I've said this before about Pete Crow Armstrong. There's not a lot of guys that can impact and dominate a game defensively. He's one of them.
I mean, this is an absolutely perfect throw. Look at that. And honestly, I don't hate the aggressive base running right there.
Such a good throw.
He has to make a perfect throw to get Josh Naylor. Pete Crow Armstrong, once he figures this out, he gets some dirt in his cleats and he starts to relax a little bit. He's all toolsed out. Yeah. He's going to be one of their best players.
On Friday, Tommy Edman, he can play some center field, he can play some shortstop. Oh, I mean, this stuff right here, D-Roy. How difficult is that?
It's just great positioning pre-pitch.
In the 9th inning as well.
The ability to do it all different places. He's played short, he's played second, he can run out to center field. That's the beauty of Tommy Edman. Yeah. There's not another player in the game that I can think of offhand that's as valuable with the versatility as him.
When I'm playing MLB The Show, this happens to me quite a bit, where I'm at the plate and my opponent, the pitcher.
Play like that?
Yeah, watch this. This happens to me all the time. Oh, play with it. Behind the back. I get that behind the back animation
so good.
all the time. That's Nick Martinez of the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend.
Nick's an absolute stud. Just a joy to be around. Pitching any role. He's got like 17 pitches. Attacks the strike zone, competes.
I like that Reds rotation.
He's a ball player that's pitching when I'm around Nick. He's an athlete.
Brian Reynolds over the weekend in Miami. This is full extension out in right field. That's really nice.
That was a series in Miami. A ton of walk-offs.
Yeah. Aggressive base running everywhere for both teams during that series.
The silent assassin, Brian Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Let's get a sponsor for that.
Yeah, actually, we should be. We should be able to get that done. I'm going to make some calls.